Hello, welcome. It's time for the town hall from today. I'm a little bit late, but better late than never, right? And I was earlier for my other thing today, so that's how it goes. Sometimes you're early, sometimes you're late. I hope you're having a good day. It's kind of rainy here in DC, and I'm trying to figure out what to do because the temperature is going to drop and things are going to turn to ice. But there's something going on at the Constitution Center tomorrow that I think I'm going to be attending, and so I might stick around, but I have to see. But the good news is I found my to-do list, I think. I just need to remember now where I put it. Where did I put it? Or did I already lose it again? I think so. Okay, easy come, easy go. That's how it goes. Well, we know what I'm working on, right? I'm working on living and defending and protecting the Constitution of the United States of America. And right now, we're not following it. And we got lots of people who are manipulating it to how they want. And this is unacceptable. So we have freedom, but we also have obligation. And maybe that's what I should talk about today. Citizenship obligation. There is, a lot of rights. And sadly, I know a lot of you are not getting your rights. And so I hope that under any administration that comes in the future, we will all receive our rights. But for right now, I know we're not receiving them all. And so to ask for obligations from citizens is a bit maybe the wrong time to talk about this, but we're going to talk about it. The first thing, I need to finish introducing myself. So I am Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki, a candidate for President of the United States. And what do I want to say? This is my town hall, campaign update, press release, all of the above. I have a to-do list, but I don't know where I put it. I had it recently again in my hands, and it's already disappeared. It's amazing how quickly these things come and go. So, sorry about that. But you know what my plans are. My plans are to defend the Constitution. And I'm doing that. I still got my lawsuit pending. It's still with the Supreme Court, which is great news. I will say DC is a mess right now. They got all sorts of things blocked off. I don't know. They're ready for snow. They're ready for rallies. They're ready for all kinds of crazy things. And it's just kind of crazy. I never saw so many blockades and barricaded areas and fenced in areas that aren't normally fenced in. So I don't know what's going on, but the weather is quite cold and it's going to get icy. So I'm trying to plot or plan where I'm going to park tomorrow. I still have an idea. Anyway, let's see. Let's see what happens over the night and stuff like that. I am working on a couple of personal things right now, and they were keeping me busy. I'm working on something for the Smile for Peace for my art stuff. But then, depending on what happens in the next day or two, I guess I have to eventually work my way back to West Virginia and maybe file a new lawsuit and see what's going on there. I did want to clean up some things and maybe see about spending some time with my mom. So that's where I am. I have a message from somebody. I don't know. Baby, have you gotten the card? I don't know what card you're referring to. And I don't know if I'm even baby. But anyways, that's up for that person to figure out. So, yeah. We have obligations. Let me get back to that. So we are U.S. citizens, and we should be proud of it. Now, I know that the Democrats and Republicans have not been fair to a lot of people, and even our original parties were also not fair to a lot of people. And George Washington himself, he warned us about the parties. He wasn't in one. And he warned that, the parties could take over. And I think this is what we repeatedly see, not only on the federal level, where they are manipulating people into office, but also on the state and local level. And it happens at the voting booths, We go in to vote, but they change our vote. And there's proof everywhere. The other part of this, too, is that they're might be able to manipulate people into manipulating votes by using money to bribe them, or to also, how else are they doing it? To have secrets on them that they're then threatening to paying somebody to trap them to do something that then they don't want people to know about. Or maybe they're involved in some sort of, I don't know, bad thing, child pornography or some other thing that we're always hearing about, but we don't know who's doing it. Arms deals, illegal alien entrance. The sky's the limit. These people, when they get power, they seem to get really even more power hungry on top of it. Like, it's not enough to be governor. It's not enough to be Secretary of State. No, they need even more power. And it's not enough to be senator or even in your own state legislature. That's not enough. You need more power somehow. So then these people take things into their own hands and they get involved with bad ideas. And so it could be that, they're being threatened that if they don't cheat, that they will, their family will find out, the news will find out, their career will be done. And so to save face, they do whatever they're told. And this is also not acceptable, but I have a feeling it's being done. So, when we are citizens, we have an obligation. We have an obligation to each other, and we have an obligation to take care of our town and our city and our county, and take care of our state and also the country, and to also represent it, to represent our country when we're someplace else. And the U.S. was once this shining beacon of freedom and liberty. And slowly but surely the parties have taken it away. And it's not so much the country, but the parties and then the laws that have been passed. But we have a constitution that has amendments and other parts of it that are there for our protection. And so, we need the federal government. I know a lot of people don't like the federal government because it invades on the states' liberties. And it's the state party liberties that are the most infringed, I suppose. But they're corporations, and they should be infringed. They don't have free reign of our country and our people. But sadly, they've manipulated themselves into that. And this is where we've gone wrong. So first off, you have rights. You have rights to all sorts of things, including freedom of speech and freedom of religion. As long as you're not hurting anybody, there is nothing wrong with following your freedoms and having them. And people who don't like it need to learn to take things in a different way, because we all have the right to freedom of speech and freedom of expression, freedom of belief. We have the freedom to get together in a public area. We have freedom to tell our governments that we don't like what they're doing, our states, our towns. We have that right too. Now, I don't know really how to do that. I'm doing it the best I can. I went straight to the top, to the Supreme Court, I tried first with my government in West Virginia, and they decided not to listen to me. They could have changed anything at any time, but they decided, no, she's a woman. She doesn't have a voice. That's what they said. She doesn't matter. But I knew, and I know that I do matter, and that I'm a citizen, and that my voice matters, and your voice matters. Even more so, because there's more of you than there are of me. There's only one of me, but there's 350 million plus minus U.S. citizens out there. So that's a lot of yous. And I'm fighting for you, because this is unacceptable. What they've done, what they're doing with the elections, the states have gotten out of control. But again, it's not really the states themselves, it is the parties. The two big parties, they've taken over. And this is the problem. They know what they've put in place, and they know how to use it. And they leave the rest of us out guessing what's going on, and it's not acceptable. So they're not living up to their bargain, probably because they were sick the day that they had to take the oath of office for their position, and they probably didn't even take it, or they took a group one, and putting your hand on a Bible, if I do it in a group, it doesn't mean anything. So it's time to go back to the old-fashioned way of everybody. If you want to put your hand on a Bible, then you do that and you take an oath. If you want to put your hand on a Torah, you do that and you take your oath. If you want to put your hand on the Quran, you can do that too. Put your hand on there, put your hand up, take the oath, but you do it singularly. It's you specifically. It's not a group of people and your hand couldn't reach the Bible, so, it doesn't count. No, or, you were sick that day, so it doesn't count. No, you have to do it. And, or if you're like me, and you have no real good book, I have a good book, but I don't think, although maybe, if I take an oath, maybe I do both, the Constitution and my good book. That could be. Singing the Living Tradition is the book that I use. But if you're running for political office or in law anywhere, this is what you need to put your hand on. The Constitution. You put it on there and you say, you put it on there and you say whatever. I don't know what it is, but I do know that we're supposed to defend it. We're supposed to know it, first off. I don't think half the people in politics right now know what's in there. And if they know, they're not following it. So shame on them. But it is our duty as citizens to know our rights. And if anything should go up in schools, clearly written, so that everybody can read it, the rights that we have. Maybe we need to make a kids version. Maybe there's a kids version out there. Because we don't live in the United States of Jesus, and we don't live in the United States of Islam. We don't live in the United States of Judaism. We live in the United States of America. And we follow the law of the land. Period. But we have to know what the laws are. So I think one of the things I'm going to do is a campaign to introduce to all the citizens of the U.S. what their rights are, because I don't think you know. And we're going to go over the Constitution slowly. I started to do that during my campaign, and I didn't get very far because, so many violations were happening, and I had to do special ones here and there. But the fact that we have so many about how to run an election tells me that the states keep, and not even the states, like I said, the parties keep taking advantage, and it's unacceptable. It's just, they've taken over our country like it belongs to them. And it doesn't. It doesn't say we, the Democrats and Republicans. It says we, the people. So I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm a people. That's what we need. We need the people involved. So there's going to be big changes. I want a direct link to you, the people. So I'm going to start a TV channel and a radio channel that's directly from the White House, where you and me will communicate. And I will have on there things that I think are okay to be seen. There will be certain guidelines on when things are and for what they're going to be used for. But I think we'll start with the Constitution and just put a whole bunch of information about the Constitution online. Because you can't be a good citizen if you don't know what your rights are. Yeah. So then the other thing that I want to do, you already know too that we need to rewrite this a little bit, because there's a lot of language we don't even understand anymore. And some of the stuff is outdated. We don't have slaves anymore, although now with the advent of robots, we might have a robot section, but I don't know. We have to discuss that as people. But the Constitution is about people. And we don't have slaves anymore as people, period. It's unacceptable. So we definitely don't need to have that. And then we need to revise the part about Indians or Native Americans. And then a lot of the amendments we don't really need, but we need to rewrite the Bill of Rights again to be more clear with modern language. Then I want to add another part, workers' rights, because we got a lot of companies taking advantage of our workers, and this is not acceptable. And since lawyers don't always fight for the workers for the right reasons either, it's best if it comes from the government, from the federal government. Because we're really here. We are you. You are we. You and me are all, we're it. We're part of it. It's our country. So, we need to do this. We need a Bill of Rights for workers as well. And yeah, so anyways, these are projects that we will have, hopefully, if the Supreme Court will act on my lawsuit, we can possibly get to these things and have some real have our country actually work for the people, not just use the people, as the Democrats and Republicans have created already for us. So I don't know what else to say. I think maybe I don't need to say anymore. It's a strange time. I'm going to drive around a little bit and maybe take a few pictures because, I never saw Washington look like this. I've been coming here since I was 19, and I just never saw it look like this. So, yeah, I don't know. Crazy things are going on. Anyway, that's my report for today. I'm just, I got a big mess in my RV that I need to fix because I'm doing I'm changing hats, being many things right now. And it's not so easy. But I guess actually before I go, I always like to include timely things. So tomorrow is Martin Luther King's Day, Civil Rights Day. My plan was to be over by the Martin Luther King statue, but I think it's going to be really cold, so I don't want to do that. So I might, I'm going to have a little piece, an art thing tomorrow at I think it's an art thing, or is it, I don't know if it's art or if it's politics. I have something tomorrow at 10. It will be live where you can join in, and my plan was to read my lawsuit. So I will be doing that, but I have to see. I might make a pre-recorded recording and just post it. I have to see what I do. Then I also have to find the lawsuit. I have it somewhere, a copy. Then, yeah, tomorrow is Civil Rights Day, Martin Luther King Day. So I wish everybody a very nice Martin Luther King Day. And it's Inauguration Day, supposedly, but I don't know how we can inaugurate anyone when we know that there is so much fraud and manipulation in the election system. But I don't know. Let's see what happens. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, so I just like to leave the space for whatever is going on behind the scenes as well. So yeah, so I wish us all a nice Martin Luther King Day, and he had a dream once, and the dream is happening. It's sadly not happening for everybody, but it is happening for a lot of people. And so we got to keep going towards his dream, but also don't forget to dream yourself. And January is a good time to dream because it's a brand new year, clean slate. You can go forward and do great things, perhaps. Yeah, Anthony Robbins is a great coach. He's got something coming up at the end of this month. I highly suggest you look into it. He's not asking money for it, although if you want to have certain contact with him, then of course you do have to spend a little bit of money. But he's there. So I think you should look into that. I think he's got some great ideas about how to break through from your own limiting beliefs and move forward. His phrase, your past doesn't equal your future. And that is so true. So true. But you got to live in the moment. That's the key. Have your eye on the future, but live in the moment and learn from your past. That's how it works. So now I'm going to say I want violence to stop. There's no need. We don't need it. We don't need violence. It's so last century. So put down your weapons, put down your, guns and your knives and your cannons and whatever else you might have. Put those bad thoughts out of your head. Make them small. Make them really tiny, like to a quarter size and then to a penny size. And then make them a piece of dust, and then blow it away. Blow it away. And then replace those bad thoughts with good thoughts. Start thinking about good things, about doing the right thing, about helping out, defending your Constitution. Stretch your capabilities. You can. You should. It's possible. So, yeah. That is what we got to do. Put down the weapons. Get rid of the bad thoughts. We don't need them. We don't need it. And around the world, do the same. Not just in the U.S. So, yeah, I have some things I got to report again, I think, to the FBI and CIA and stuff like that. And if you know of anything that's not working, that's kind of strange, and you think maybe you should report it, go ahead, do it. They have online websites where they have a tips page where you can go in and put your information. And sometimes, they don't give you enough space to put it all in on one report. So just say this is part 1 and then part 2, and just give them all the details, because the more information they have, the better and more accurately they can do their job. That's what you got to do. Okay, so, yeah, ceasefire, and let's sit down and talk. That's where we are, folks. Okay, so that's it for now. I have somebody, Masan Kuni, is watching, and I had a Shane Yoders. So, hi everybody. Thanks for stopping by. If you want to find out more about my lawsuit, you can have a look. It's at my website. Well, part of it, not all of it. Susan4USA.com. That's Susan, the number 4USA.com. I will be going over my lawsuit tomorrow, probably around 10ish in the morning. I have to figure out what I'm going to do. I might just pre-record it and post a video, and then you can follow along with it too. I'm going to go to the Constitution Center here in DC and see what that's all about. Because, we are just not living constitutionally, and it's not fair. It's not fair. It's, it's a joke. It's called treason, but that's for another day. Okay, so thank you for stopping by. Have a good day. Happy Martin Luther King Day tomorrow, and everything else. Peace.